welcome back again. I'm Ryan, this is Tanya. Today we're going to be making fresh pasta.
Hey guys, if you've never made fresh pasta before, you should. You will never want to buy store-bought pasta again, I promise you. So with just a few ingredients that you probably already have in your pantry, you can make some really great pasta that your friends and family will enjoy. I mean, look at this. It's literally like 2 or 3 ingredients. It's easy, it's quick, and it's delicious.
For the fresh pasta, our ingredients are going to be 300 grams of flour, 300 grams of egg yolk, and about a teaspoon of salt and olive oil. Now, for the egg yolks, you want to really measure it out by weight because each egg yolk is different. And you can do things such as duck egg yolks or smaller egg yolks, whatever. But just so you know, it's about 18 eggs of an extra large egg yolk. And I use whole egg yolk instead of just egg. It has a better flavor, more color, much creamier. You can also use a saffron water in addition to egg. But that's very simple, very much the recipe. Alright, so we're going to go and add our flour and our egg yolks. Now, you might notice there's no water in this recipe. When you're making this, you need to add water as needed. So if it's a little dry and it's not coming together, then you're going to add water. But hopefully, usually, it comes together on its own. And then our oil. Go ahead and start mixing this. So traditionally, when you make pasta, it's usually the mound of flour and then the egg yolks and all the ingredients. You just kind of mix it all up. You can do it that way, but I prefer doing it in a mixer. It's easier, it's more consistent, and I just find it better for everyone. Less mess and everything. So I'll go ahead and start mixing this together. So you can kind of see this is kind of dry and crumbly. We could try and force it together and it would bring out the moisture, but just for it's easier for you and makes a better dough, we'll add like a couple of dribbles of water. Just about like that much, maybe like a tablespoon of water. You go ahead and mix it together. So go ahead and take a look at this. This is about what it's going to look like after it's incorporated. Kind of tacky, not sticky. If I had to describe it, maybe like Play-Doh. That kind of a texture and feel. Look at just how orange and colorful that is. You can't get that color with saffron water or just egg, but egg yolk and a really good egg yolk, maybe even like duck eggs or like farm fresh eggs, you'll get a really nice flavor, color, and texture. So if you can see, there's these little salt crystals still in the dough. That's gonna be okay, that's kind of what you want, because we're gonna rest it so that all of the moisture in the dough hydrates the salt and incorporates into the dough. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it, and we're gonna put it in the fridge and rest it just so it fully hydrates. We want every little bit of moisture to stay trapped inside our dough and really bring all the moisture out into the flour and into the salt and make it nice and supple for us. We're gonna rest it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. All right, so now that the pasta's been rested, we pull it out. You can already see it's a nice deep orange color. It's really brought out all the little proteins in there and really hydrated the flour and all the salt's incorporated. So go ahead and unwrap it, and yeah, you can already feel that. It's like it's not as dry anymore. It's kind of.
And it's so pretty too. I love the color. That's like my favorite thing.
Yeah, that's like, you'll even feel when you kind of press. It's not as bounced back. So what we're gonna do is just kind of divide it. This is a full recipe, so with a lot of eggs, you can also cut it in half if you want to do less. I recommend doing the full one because you can save it easily. But to make it easier to work with, just go ahead and cut it into 4. And for that, now just put a little flour on there.
May I get on the flour, please?
Of course. And all we want to do is just kind of dry it out some, just so we can roll it.
And this is where the fun part comes in.
So the one thing about this is you want to make sure you don't dry out your dough. So yeah, we need to cut it so we can work with it, but just kind of wrap it back up so it stays moist. Because it will dry out on you and it will crack when you're trying to roll it. And that's all you need to do. You can use the same plastic wrap. And then for this, just kind of smash it out with your hand. Don't need to get anything precise, just because we're going to go ahead and feed it in here.
And we're going to go ahead and start on one. Now, another thing that I want to add is if you don't have a pasta machine at home, that is totally fine. You can roll it out just with a rolling pin. But I think a pasta machine obviously makes it a lot quicker and a lot easier. So if you do have a pasta machine at work, at home, I said work. I feel like I'm still working. We're gonna start at number 1.
So when you do this, you want to do it end over end on each number. We just did number 1, so we're going to do number 2 now. And while we're doing this, we're just going to keep going end over end, one end at a time, and then we're going to go all the way to number 4. So we're making pappardelle pasta, and that's really just a really wide, almost like a fettuccine noodle. But in order for us to actually be able to work with it, we're going to cut our strips in half, widthwise, and then after that, we'll just go ahead and do strips out of this. So we're going to go ahead and cut our pasta. We're going to get nice even cuts. Don't need to do it this way because you don't always want to waste your pasta, but just for being even and just to show you, we're just going to go ahead and do this for you. And then we folded it over, so now we're just going to cut all even slices and try to get as even as we can all together. And now you can see these are all just kind of pulling apart. And this is your pasta. Just put a little more flour on them and lay them out or cook them right away. That's it, guys. This is our fresh made pasta. This is pappardelle. You can dry it, freeze it, put it in the fridge. You can cook it right now in some boiling salted water. It's delicious no matter what you do. Remember to check in for our next video. We're going to be doing a braised short rib to pair with this pasta. It's just going to be delicious. We're really looking forward to it and hope you enjoy it too.